podcast. This is our 20th podcast, and today we are secretly coming to you from a very deserted spots. Mike is just south of Richland Center, Wisconsin, in the woods, and I am in northern Indiana in the woods, and we have found some spas in both states that we're trying to sneak into today, and we're going to try to come to you from a spa and show you what it's like inside of a nude spa. And later on, hopefully, we'll both be taking our clothes off and talking to you about spa life in April
I
Fools. This is coming to you, April Fools. And no, we're not at a spa. I'm in Cicero, Indiana. Mike's in Tomo, Wisconsin, and we're happy to be here with our 20th podcast. How are you, Colonel?
I'm doing well. It's April Fools, and hard to believe March is gone and April's here. So
it's kind of crazy. It's
yeah,
supposed to be 80 degrees here today, which I guess we're getting closer and closer to summertime. But
yeah,
it is. It's amazing. I don't know. The older you get, I think time flies faster, and it's
without a doubt.
we went
Without a doubt.
yesterday or Sunday to my brother's 75th. His wife had a birthday celebration for him. That's not my thing, but I guess they like to do that. A lot of people showed up, and shows how much friends and family he does have. But just kind of you look back at 75 years ago, man, it's hard to believe at that time. It's just crazy how time flies.
You know what kills me is, like last night I got home a little late because I was working yesterday, and Jill had the movie on, The Proposal, with Ryan Reynolds and Sandra Bullock and so on and so forth. So I just did some research. That movie was out 16 years ago, and then I was looking at some of the ages of the actors back then compared to now, and it's like, Jesus, it seems like that movie just came out, and here we are 16 years later watching it. And I think of that stuff all the time. I'll have memories come up on my phone, and you think, well, one popped up today. It was 9 years ago today. We were leaving D.C. and moving to Fayetteville, North Carolina. And it seems like it was yesterday, and it's already been 9 years. So, yep,
That
getting
doesn't
older.
seem possible. Does not seem possible. It's
Yeah. So,
Well, as we go into our second decade of podcasts, actually third decade, we'll be going into our third decade of podcasts. We're going to try to change things around just a little bit to try to tweak it as much as we possibly can and make it better for your listeners. And again, we ask for your comments. You can comment on the Spotify or the YouTube after you see the video. If there's something you want to say or a question you want to ask, feel free to do that. We'd be happy to bring that up in our podcast. And one of the things today, I want to bring in a new sponsor, and nobody's asked me to do this. This sponsor's not asked me to do this. This pops up on my Facebook all the time, and these are good friends of mine. I say good friends. Hell, I haven't talked to them in probably 40, 50 years, but this is a company called Antiques and Botanicals. And although I don't know how many listeners we have in Georgia and southern Tennessee, but they are located in Marble Hill, Georgia, which is in the mountains north of Georgia. And it's Barb and Jay Grimes. And Barb Grimes was the flower department manager at a grocery store that I was the co-manager of back, and you talk about time flying, just many, many years ago. And Jay came in to work at that store, and they became involved and have now been married many, many years. But they've opened up this little shop, and she does flowers. And Jay always was into antiques, so it looks like they bought some antiques. And they have antique jewelry, furniture, botanicals, of course, by Barb, and a lot of collectibles. And you can find them at Antiques and Botanicas at gmail.com, and they're on Facebook. Just look them up. There may be some items there that if you're into antiques that you might enjoy. And as I look through their Facebook page, when it pops up on mine, there's a lot of unique things there. And I'm not into antiques, but if you are, they have some beautiful jewelry there too, if you'd like to take a look at that. And just it's always nice that we can advertise good friends and people that we know, and things that people we've come across in our lives, and if we can help them out a little bit, we certainly want to do that. So check them out. That's Antiques and Botanicals at gmail.com, and check them out on Facebook.
Sounds good. Local sports?
Yeah, let's go into. We're going to call this bike trail sports. I thought a wide world of sports, but as I think of Wisconsin and what pops up in Kendall, Wisconsin, and Elroy, where Mike grew up, and where we lived for a while, there's a bike trail that's been there for years, and we have bike trails in Indiana now. But I think the ones in Wisconsin was there many, many, many years ago. So we will call our sports segment Bike Trail Sports, and we'll go into a little bit of local sports. There's not a lot of basketball left. I think it's all over, but we certainly get into spring sports, and there's some things going on there too that I think we can talk about. So what's going on up there, Mike?
Well, I was looking at Royals calendar, and it said the girls had a softball game today, but then it was crossed out, and the date was yesterday. So I'm not sure if they changed it to yesterday. We had a beautiful day yesterday, so maybe they did play. But the girls have a softball game this Thursday at Pepin. The Royal Invite, which is a huge track event that's been going on for decades. That's April 7th at Royal, and just about every school from the conference will be there. And also baseball is at Cashton. So the spring sports are all in gear. I had a teacher years ago, Tommy, that said we should play softball and baseball in the fall when we know the weather is better and the fields will be nice, and we should play football in the spring because who cares if the field is muddy and it's rainy and so on and so forth. It makes sense. It would never happen, but we got to have Friday night football in the fall.
Yeah.
But it makes sense field-wise if you don't have artificial turf. So
makes a lot of sense. It's interesting
Yeah.
you bring up the Royal Relays that we here locally, April 18th, which is a few weeks away, but we have at Hamilton Heights High School, we have a track meet called the Big Orange, and we have about, I think, 12 or 16 teams that come in. And the reason I bring that up, it's a great concession day for me. We sell a ton of concessions that day, and you got to plan for that. And that's our biggest event, of course, of the spring. Last year, unfortunately, it was canceled because of the weather, and I'd already ordered all the inventory, and so I had to suffer through that the rest of the season trying to get rid of that. But as you bring up Royal Sports, this might be a good point to put this in because she was an athlete. Week, I had mentioned some listeners that listen very religiously to this podcast, and my daughter Rachel informed me that we have a former Royal alumni who listens to this podcast very religiously every week, and that is Emma Zamolik Pinter. And Emma Zamolik Pinter lives up in Wausau, Wisconsin, and that is Callie Zamolik, who's a good friend of my daughter Rachel's sister, and we're just glad that she listens to it. I'm sure she does that while she's taking care of her baby. They got a baby, and we're certainly thankful for her. Emma, spread this along to your friends up there in Wausau, and hopefully we'll get some more listeners up there. But spring sports are in big stride here. The baseball teams usually take a trip south this week. It's spring break this week and next week, and I know Noblesville leaves, I think, tomorrow, going down to Tennessee and playing. And Hamilton Heights stays home this week. We got a doubleheader on Saturday, and then next week. They actually do some traveling. So the baseball teams are traveling. We have a good girls softball team that has a couple girls that are looking as all-state candidates, and so softball will be big. Baseball usually isn't real big here at Heights, but and now you're getting into spring football and football teams all out on the field and stuff. So you got a lot of activities going on at schools this time of year. So but this time of year, nationally, it's exciting, a very exciting time of year as the NCAA men's and women's finals have been set and will be starting up this weekend, and had some really good games this past weekend, Mike.
Oh my gosh. I could probably the most thrilling game was that Duke UConn game. I could not believe it. And then how Duke screwed up at the end. I mean, all they had to do is hold on to the ball. They didn't even have to go across half court. And that pass was stolen, and Jill and I both jumped out of our seats. We just could not believe it. Down 19 teams before that in the D1 or in the NCAA were 134-0 when leading by 15 plus points at halftime.
Yeah.
So this was the first loss. It's unbelievable. Great game. So some good matchups.
That kid that hit the three-pointer for UConn is from Indiana. In fact, he was Mr. Basketball to Indiana last year, and he's coming back to Indiana to play in the Final Four. It's kind of exciting. I cannot stand the UConn coach, but that's
I can't either. Did you see him headbutt the ref?
Yeah, yeah. It said it was inadvertently, but I don't know. This guy, he's
No,
such a, I
he's
don't
a
know.
dickhead.
And he gets talent. They got money. They spend money to get talent, and he's of course this kid from Indiana they recruited. Although he had a chance to go somewhere else, but I think UConn gave him the most money. So at
Yeah.
UConn Illinois will be a good game. Illinois is sneaky good.
Hmm.
It wouldn't surprise me if Illinois win that. And I think the national championship game is the other game, Arizona
Yeah.
and Michigan. I think that's going to be an unbelievable game, and they both play very similarly, and I think it's going to be a really, really good game here in Indianapolis. I think I said before in Indianapolis we got the division, we got D1, D2, D3, and the NIT championships here in Indianapolis this coming weekend, and we got the slam dunk and the 3-point contest. I see where Fletcher Lawyer from Purdue is going to play in the 3-point contest. I mean, participate in the 3-point contest. So that should be interesting. So
Yep.
that's an exciting to look for this weekend. And also, we got the women's Final Four this weekend. As of course, UConn has dominated that the last few years. And of course, they won again, and we'll play South Carolina once again in the first game, and then UCLA, who's coming back for 2 straight years, against Texas, who's back for the 2nd straight year. So you kind of got some monopolizing going on in the women's Final Four with UConn,
Yeah.
South Carolina, UCLA, and Texas. So that also will be a really good Final Four.
Yeah. All one
Then there's
seeds.
one other
Yeah.
Final Four going on this weekend that people up in Wisconsin are excited about, and that's the NCAA Frozen Four, which takes place this weekend also. That'll be Michigan against Denver and North Dakota against Wisconsin. So Wisconsin has a chance to not only win the women's, but wins the men's Frozen Four too. So
Yeah. The
just
men's,
curious,
they've
Mike,
really-
how many people does that, like the Wisconsin hockey team, do they play at Kohl Center? When
Yeah.
they play up there? Do you
They-
know if they play?
yeah. Yeah,
Do they draw pretty
women
well?
play. Yeah, the men do. They fill it. The women's. I've been to a women's game a couple of years ago, and they play next door at I forget the name of the smaller arena. But the men, especially as well as they've been playing this year, they'll fill the Kohl Center. Yep, yep.
So really
they've really turned the
exciting
program
time of
around.
the year. And I
Yeah.
usually flip back and forth, and I watch the high. Very seldom will I ever watch hockey. But if you don't like hockey, I think it's better to watch college hockey than NHL.
Yeah.
They're similar, but I think college is a little bit more exciting. So
Without a
a
doubt.
lot of exciting things happening on the basketball front as we continue to hear people going into the portal and people looking for people in the portal and things like that. And speaking of that, a couple local comments on the portal. We got a couple girls that played high school ball here. That Reagan Wilson, who played for Iowa State, her freshman and sophomore year, has entered the portal, and it looks like she might transfer back closer to home. And then Cameron Runner, who is the leading scorer at Hamilton Heights and she was at the University of Evansville and was freshman of the year there, and this past year averaged 18.5 points and 9 rebounds a game. So it looks like they think that she may go to a bigger D1 school. So a lot of college kids that are in the portal. If you ever get a chance, just go on the internet and type in NIL portal, and it'll bring up every player at every school who has entered the portal. And it's amazing how many kids do that today, and the opportunities that these kids have to go play somewhere else. I don't totally agree with it, but if you're a kid in college and you can go from making maybe $200,000 a year to maybe making $1 million and a half a year, then I certainly don't. I mean, it's fine. I think it's great that you do that. But
I think Calipari had a good fix, though. You get one time to transfer.
Yeah.
That's it.
yeah, I mean, it's so
After that,
confusing. It's ridiculous. It's just
After that, you sit. If you transfer again, you
which
sit.
I think would be a good deal. It's
Yeah.
I'm going to talk a little bit about student athletes and the degrees they get and things like that. But yeah, exciting time. This weekend is going to be a great weekend. It's supposed to be really nice. Well, it's supposed to rain a little bit, but really nice here. So probably a lot of time spent on the couch, unfortunately, watching TV. But,
Yeah, yeah. One other thing regarding the NCAA, Charles Barkley had some comments about, I guess Caravan did an interview and was talking about being an immigrant, and Barkley made some comments about how immigrants are treated, but what he's forgetting is there are 2 types of immigrants. You have our legal immigrants, and then you have our illegal, and people like to put them all in the same pot, and so Charles is taking some backlash for his comments. I'm not sure
And
exactly
these
what
kids
he
that
said.
come over here to play basketball are on some kind of visa that allows them to come
Right.
over and study and play basketball, and they only have a
Yep.
certain amount of time. Then they either have to, become a citizen of the United States or go back. And
Yep.
they are
Just do it
legal now,
legally.
but they could be illegal in future years. But
Right.
that's all we're asking. And that's we're going to talk
Yeah.
about this no kings things later. We'll get into that later, though. But it's crazy that these people are. It's just nuts what's going on. But
Yeah.
we'll talk about that later. The MLB season has started, Mike, and your Brewers and my Yankees are both 3-1. They both lost last night, but looks like
Yeah.
the
The
season's off
Brewers.
to a good start. But of course, we got some injuries, right?
Yeah, Cheerios out, and then Vaughn, our first baseman, they both broke their hands, so they'll be out a month. Of course, 2 to 4 weeks turns into 2 to 4 months, so I'm not sure when we'll see them back. Probably after the All-Star break. Last night I was watching the
I mean, I
game.
know that accidents can. I know accidents can happen, but how does that happen that early in the season? It just doesn't make a lot of sense,
Well,
does it?
I saw Churio. He got hit by a pitch right in his hand. I'm not sure how Vaughn did his because he played the whole game. And then that night, I read that he was out for 2 to 4 weeks. So I'm not sure what he did. But last night, I was watching the game. They tied it up or they actually took the lead 2-1, and then lost the lead. I think in the bottom or top of the eighth, and it was 2-2. And then the ninth, McGill, our closer, came in and walked a guy and gave up a double and down 3-2, so that was their first loss. I still think the Brewers are leading in run differential for the majors. They had swept the White Sox, so they're playing good ball. They've got good hitters, they've got some
Yeah.
good pitching, and hopefully have a good year.
It's like the Yankees are doing really well. They got beat by a walk-off last night by the big bomber or whatever his name is out there in Seattle. They got beat 2-1. But interesting thing about last night in the Yankee game, the new ABS system has taken place this year in baseball, where either the batter, the pitcher, the batter, the pitcher, or the catcher can question a call. And last night, 5 times the Yankees questioned a call on the low end of the strike zone and won every one of them. So they were talking this morning a little bit about how embarrassed the umpire has to be and what's that going to do to umpires throughout the
Yeah.
year. And a guy was debating this morning. I watch Boomer and Gio in the morning. They come from New York. They're on CBS Sports. But they were saying either have it all the way or no way. It's just kind
I
of
agree.
– I mean, it doesn't take any time. As soon as you tap your helmet, they do it immediately. And it pops up on, and we get to see that square anyway. And we're sitting at home
Yeah.
going, no way. It's not,
Yeah.
so I think they ought to be able to do it. I mean –
I saw a video where it was a challenge. The umpire had called a strike, and there was a challenge. They didn't even put up the measurement. It was literally a foot below the square, or 6-8 inches below the square. So they changed it to a ball. I wish they would go to a computerized system for balls and strikes, and still have the umpire back there for close plays at the plate or something. I don't know,
you're going to
but-
have him back there. Yeah, you got to
Yeah.
have him back there.
But when you get into the playoffs, a ball and a strike, wrong call can turn the whole game around.
Well, last night, 5 of those Yankees
Yeah.
were on third strike calls. They
Yeah.
called them out on third strikes and they were balls. So, I mean,
Yeah.
and I forget whether they got hits or not or what happened. But, I mean, you're right. In the World Series game, you get called out on strikes and it was a ball. I mean, that could certainly affect the game without question. I mean, it's
Yeah.
and
I
I
wish
don't
they'd
think
go to-
it's I just think it's trying to be accurate. And I'm not saying a lot of these umpires are older. And as these pitchers start developing different pitches that kind of just fall off the ledge, when they get to the plate and things, I mean, they see it coming in as a strike and it drops immediately, and
Yeah.
by the time it crosses the plate, it's not a strike, it's a ball. And I just think that we need to use we got technology, why not use it? I mean,
Exactly. I've said that for years, even in the NFL with first downs. They finally went to it, but why not have a chip in that football? I mean, why, there's 18
Right.
different angles,
Yeah.
whether you cross the plane or if it's a first down or whatever. Let's use the technology.
And then forget
Especially
the
at that
damn
level.
having to bring the chains out and measure and all that shit. Just have a laser that it's a first down, so you don't have to take the time to do that. It's kind of
Yeah.
I always thought when they bring the chains out, it's kind of a waste of time, and it's and I always thought you could cheat. You could put a kink in it. A friend of mine used to run the chains at our local high school, and he said, if they were playing a big conference game, they would, put a chink in the, they would put a kink in the thing so they wouldn't. And I said, oh, it's crazy. But you could do that, so it's kind of crazy you do that. So
Yeah, yeah.
we got a sponsor we forgot last week. We certainly want to make sure we recognize them this week. And who you got, Mike?
Yep, Trailview Meats, Cody Vossen, located a couple of miles outside of Elroy on Highway 71. Cody sells ground beef, steaks. He's got ribeyes, porterhouse, T-bones, sirloins, New York strips, tenderloins, flanks, and skirts. And he sells roasts, and he has short ribs, tri-tips, and much, much more. And I've said it in the past, we get all of our meat through Cody, and especially ground beef, which comes in 1 and 2 pound packages. It's $6 a pound. You know what's going into his cattle. You see them on his ranch, and just high quality meat. It's farm raised beef by the whole, half, quarter, or by the pound. Again, Trailview Meats, Cody Vossen, located just outside of Elroy on Highway 71. Give him a shout if you have any meat needs. I don't like to buy it from the store because I don't know what's in it, so we definitely go to Cody every time we need some meat. And it's excellent stuff.
I might have you bring some down when you guys come down for the wedding.
Yeah.
It's another Royal alumni that's doing well outside of in the business world. So we're happy to talk about them and everything. So
Yep, absolutely.
got a new segment coming up called Word of the Day, and normally this would be a kind of a jovial, funny part of the show, but after watching the NCAA tournament and being a Purdue fan that I am, and seeing them get beat this last week, and then seeing the 3 seniors on the team, and just trying to give us some thought to that, I thought, and the word of the day is loyalty. And loyalty is the quality of being faithful, committed, and devoted to someone or something. It means standing by a person, group, cause, or belief, even during difficult times, and acting with loyalty and support toward them. It means trustworthiness, faithfulness, and commitment. And I bring that up because the 3 seniors, Braden Smith, Fletcher Lawyer, and Trey Kaufman-Wren, has spent 4 years, Trey Kaufman-Wren 5 years at Purdue, and all 3 of them are getting their degree and will graduate. The NBA's prospect says that Braden will probably go in the second round of the NBA, and they're not sure if Trey Kaufman-Wren or Lawyer will go, but I find it hard to believe. I think Trey Kaufman-Wren definitely will find a spot in the NBA. But during these times of NIL transfers we talked about earlier in the show and all that, and these guys had spent 4 years at a college, and it's pretty honorable that happens. And you see teams like Michigan State and other teams where these kids stay all those years. And as we all know, Braden Smith broke the NCAA assist record, and Fletcher Lawyer now holds the record, three-point record at Purdue as the most three-pointers by any Purdue Boilermaker. So I think it's very honorable that these guys stayed 4 years, and they've been a joy to watch. And Purdue next year, we kind of been looking at that. I don't know if they'll be probably as good, but they always come back somehow. But just wanted to bring that up today. And loyalty can mean a lot of things, a lot of other things too. But I thought during the NCAA tournament, it's good to talk about that because you don't see that a lot today, Mike, with players staying in the same spot.
You know, if I was on an NBA team looking at college prospects, that what you just mentioned there with those 3 players, loyalty would go huge for me. Maybe they're not going to be the best players on the court, but just their mentality, their loyalty, and commitment to Purdue, being there for 4 years, would be something I would highly look at.
Yeah.
So,
well, the reason they said Smith is so highly, they think he'll go pretty high in the draft, is because of his court presence. It doesn't matter how tall you are. In the NBA, if you can find the open man and get the ball to him, I mean, that's going to mean a lot. But I mean, he can shoot when he needs to shoot, but
But a lot of these players, whatever sport they're playing in, sometimes I think it's lost when they don't look at the character of the person. To me, that carries a lot. I would rather have a little bit sub-caliber player that's completely loyal than someone that's, off the charts but is a total ass. So good luck to all those guys as they enter the draft.
Yeah, I just read this morning that Jaden Ivey, who played at Purdue, just got released by the Chicago Bulls because of comments he made on a podcast.
Yeah.
So I thought, what the hell did he say? So I looked it up, and it was all about this LBGQPR, whatever the hell that conduct those things are, and he was saying that how Americans look at the gay pride parades and all this stuff, and had some comments about those people, and I don't mean those people derogatorily, but I don't know what the an acronym is, but and the Bulls let him go, which is kind of crazy. It's
Yeah.
that happens, but these guys go on a podcast and don't even realize. And again, he was a good player at Purdue. He only played 1 year, but like you said, you got to look at the character of a player when you get them. It's
Yep.
why, and I think even the NFL, you got to do that. It's kind of
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah. Exactly.
Well, we got another segment here called premature interjections, and we just want to throw some things out like a lightning round. We'll just talk about them a little bit, discuss them a little bit, and we'll go on from there. But first of all, with this podcast airing on April Fools, we wanted to talk about a few April Fools pranks. And Mike, I think you got a few. I tried to think back about some of the things that happened for me and just some little piddly things, but I don't really have any major things to talk about. But you got a couple you want to discuss?
Yeah, just a couple that I remember from years ago. I used to work at a treatment facility, and one April Fool's, I typed up a memorandum, and it looked very official. And I sent it to my boss and said that I was resigning because I was taking a job as a truck driver. And she found me later and started laughing. She knew I was lying to her when she got about 3/4 of the way through the letter. And I was giving all these reasons why I was leaving and going to get my CDL and drive truck and all this stuff. But she knew I was lying when I started talking about the big chain that would hang from my pocket to hold my wallet in. And she was laughing about that. So I had her for a while. She said she started reading it, was floored that I was leaving, but then knew I was joking with her after she read about the big chain. One of my reasons for leaving because I wanted to have that big chain on my pocket. And then another time I was working third shift at a youth leadership training center. We had adjudicated youth under our care. And one night I was bored and it just flowed off my lips and mind and fingertips. And I typed up this purchase order stating that all of the staff, we needed to purchase yellow, like cop lights, only in the color yellow, to put on top of our cars, because if we had an incident at the Youth Leadership Training Center, then people that traveled along the interstate, which went right by our facility, would know that there was something wrong at the facility because we'd all have our lights flashing. And like I said, this purchase order and the memorandum just flowed for me that night. I must have been bored. And I turned it in and forgot about it. And the secretary came out, it was probably a week or so later, and was just about ready to submit that purchase order, because I had the catalog numbers and everything for the purchasing of these lights. I had it all on this form, and she was just about ready to turn it in when she had a question for me, and it's like, oh my God, no, that was a joke. It was an April Fool's joke. Don't turn that in. We don't need to spend thousands of dollars on yellow lights for the tops of our cars. But another April Fool's prank that almost went a little bit too far. But I put one on for this podcast too, saying that we'd be giving a listener $1,000 from listening to this podcast. But of course, that's an April Fool's joke.
Yeah,
too,
I don't know where that's coming from. Maybe one of our sponsors will cough that up. I don't know. I haven't got anything at the things that I do. Throughout my whole life, I've found a lot of people are so gullible that they'll believe almost anything. And I can do it with a straight face, and I do it with the kids. And Ayla, my granddaughter now is 9 years old, has gotten to the point where she does it now. But numerous times with even working, I'd say things like, did you get the memo? The company's been sold or something, and the guys go, what? What are you talking? No. You need to open up their phone or a computer. No, I didn't get anything. And then with Penny, she's so, you'll get up and like tomorrow morning, I'll get up and say something off the wall that has happened or that's going to happen. And those type of things like that. And then, I was looking at, I don't know, popped up on my phone about food April Fool's pranks and different things you can do. And one of them, I never even thought about this, was you take Oreos and you scrape the white off of it and you put toothpaste in the middle of it. And then put them out to eat, And the other thing is chocolate covered onions. You would take little pearl onions and dip them in chocolate and So little. I mean, there's all kinds of food things that you could
I,
do April Fool's wise, but
I did have two other ones. I don't know if I did them on April Fools, but I told one of my sister-in-laws that we had a refrigerator, and I said, you know what, ice and water comes out, but you don't have to have any water hookup. It's all internal. She actually went to an appliance store and asked asked the people working there. She said, my brother-in-law has one of these refrigerators, and I'm looking for it. You don't have to hook it up to any water source. It just automatically makes ice and puts water out for you. And they looked at her like she had three eyeballs. And then another time, I told another sister-in-law that if she had a rip in her card table, you know, those vinyl covered card
right.
tables, I said, all you have to do is take a wet towel, put it on it, and take an iron and iron over it, and the cut will fuse together, and your card table will be good to go. And she believed me on that. I don't think she tried it, but she thought I was correct in how to fix a card table. So yeah, you can pull pranks on quite a few people like that. So
Yeah, it'll be fun to do tomorrow. Some people will know it's April Fool's. Other people will completely forget it's April Fool's. So you
yeah,
can certainly pull some of those pranks tomorrow, and it'll be fun. Just don't take it too serious. Don't take it too far. I'm
right.
sure there's some things that's been taken too far. But
Yeah, yeah.
I want to talk about these No Kings rallies that happened over the weekend. And I guess several million of people throughout the world, a big one in L.A. and a big one in Washington D.C. And it's just driving me nuts, Mike. I don't want to get involved in politics, but when you see it on the news, you go, "What the hell? Don't these people have anything else to do besides that?" I mean, it's ridiculous. I mean, it's anything.
Most are paid.
It's
Yeah.
immigration. It's the war in Iran. It's always something that they want to protest about. And it's just driving me nuts. Uh, I don't know.
You know what I loved is that there were people in England, in London specifically, protesting no kings. Hello, you've got a
Yeah.
king right down the road.
And who came up with the name? It's kind of
I don't
crazy. I
know.
mean, I know Trump
It's
has
so
called himself
stupid.
king and all that stuff and everything, but
I read where the Iranian population here in the U.S. are going to have a I don't want to call it a protest, but a gathering, I guess, out in D.C. to basically thank Trump. I don't know when it's going to be. I just saw it real quick today, but they're going to have an Iranian rally, to a pro-Iranian, pro-Trump rally sometime here in the near future. So we'll see how that goes.
well, that's kind of like Venezuela and Iran. I mean, they've been under, dictatorship for so long, and the terrorists and all that stuff. Why would you not be happy that finally somebody's coming in to? And I'm sure the United States has somebody in mind they want to run that country. I mean, it's just a matter of getting
Hmm.
it done. And it's sad that we have to spend billions of dollars to get to that point. But
Yeah.
it's interesting too. I find that I don't know how much our allies are helping us in Iran. There's probably some that's not. And but the money we spent, I wonder how much it compares to what they've spent. Because there's a lot. They have a lot of interest over there, just like we do. I mean, it's
Yeah.
you know.
Yep. Well, it's just like NATO and everything else. They don't put their fair share in, but we're the ones
No,
footing the
not at
bill.
all. Not at all. Well, once again, Tiger Woods took a double bogey on some road in Jupiter, Florida again. I mean, it's I love this guy, and when he plays golf, I used to love to watch him play. I mean, I just thought he was probably. I mean, he probably is the best golfer that ever lived. I mean, realistically, when you think about it, I know Nicholas has more tournaments, but I mean wins. But we were talking about this at lunch yesterday, and part of me feels sorry for him, and the other part goes, "Why in the hell are you driving? As much money as you
Yeah.
have, why don't you have a
Get a
driver?" I
driver.
mean, seriously.
Jeez. What does he
I mean, it
drink?
doesn't make sense. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I
Bourbon?
know without question, we've known for a long time that he's been on pills, and when you have as much back problems as he's had, and then when he had the wreck in L.A. or wherever it was that really screwed up his back, I mean, I can see why he takes pain pills, but we all know pain. I mean, right on the capsule it says "Do not drink or drive when you take these medicines." I mean, it doesn't make a lot of sense.
Do you
And
think we could get
I think
him?
he has a serious problem.
Do you think we could get him to be our bourbon sponsor? He could come on and read about the bourbon or whatever else he's
I don't know if
drinking.
he drinks bourbon or tequila or what he drinks, but I
Did
see
you
that
see his?
Donald Trump's ex-wife has put their romance on hold. So I don't know if she's upset with him or what. But
Did you see his apparel line though? Tiger
Yeah,
Woods'
he's
apparel line spiked, went through the roof. People are buying his
oh
clothes
yeah,
because of
plus he's
this.
got that that new yeah, and it's not. I don't think it's going to hurt him. I mean,
No.
he won't be playing any golf soon. I don't think. And we got talking yesterday, and I said, he is scheduled. They want him to play in the Masters, and when you think about that, how important a tournament that is, and how many times he's won it, and what it means to him. I mean, you're probably under a lot of pressure that you should play, but yet you don't physically feel like you want to play. And I said, hell, maybe this was his way of saying, hey, there ain't no way I'm going to play in the Masters, But we've driven on. We lived in Florida. We drove out to Jupiter Island one day just to drive by all these multi-millionaire mansions, like where he lives. You can't really see them, but then we took a boat ride around the island. You can see them from the back, but those roads are very narrow. And if you're trying to pass a dump truck with a trailer, I mean, there ain't no way in hell you're going to pass it. And first of all, I don't know why you would even try, but again, if you're impaired, and they're saying this thing will go on forever, in court, they won't. They'll find a way to draw it out. And he didn't. The bad thing about it, he didn't take a urine test in the state of Florida. That is a felony or misdemeanor that you don't take a urine test, but. I don't know. It's just strange that this consistently happens to him, and on a regular basis. And
I just don't want him to get
I
hurt.
read one
or
article
for
that
him.
says maybe this will wake him up and come to say, "Look, I've got a problem. I'm going to
I
start
just don't want him
working
to
on it. I need all the
don't want him to get hurt or hurt
you know
somebody else. That's the big
yeah."
thing.
And he's got the money to get the treatment, and the therapy that it needs. I just don't understand that.
Just get a
And it
driver.
comes out of the clear blue sky. You think you seen him play in that little golf tournament that they have, that automated golf tournament that they had, and then it looked like he was doing well, and then bam, a day or two later, you see that this happened. So it's kind of
Yeah,
crazy.
take an Uber, get a driver. It's
Yeah, that's what I don't understand. The multi-billion-dollars that you have, how can you not afford a driver? I mean, a full-time driver. Have
Yeah.
him on staff. I mean, it's crazy that.
shit, I'll
That
drive
he
for him. I
doesn't. I
don't
mean,
care.
most other celebrities do have drivers. I mean, it's just crazy.
Yeah.
I want to talk a bit about having been in the food business, and we all go out to eat a lot. I want to talk a little bit about Red Lobster and KFC. Red Lobster in 2024 filed bankruptcy and closed about 130 of their stores, and has been suffering since. And it looks like they're going through another stage here where they're going to close some more stores. And we talk about time passing really quickly, and this is a national chain that's been around for a long, long time, and actually one that I kind of like going to. It's they got some pretty good food, and it's sad to see companies like that, change leadership at the top and things change and all that stuff. But then you go drive around, you see all these empty restaurants sitting around, but they are having some serious financial difficulties right now. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. I think I've eaten at
And
a
then
Red
KFC
Lobster
also,
once.
as big as KFC is closing stores like crazy. And I read an article where the secret recipe, spicy recipe, supposedly has been changed a little bit, and people does not like it. And we've got one locally here that I just don't go to. The service has always been shitty, and
Yep.
the
Stores are
product is
dirty.
not what. Yeah, the stores are dirty, and when they open them up new, they're pretty nice. But then they just
Yep.
and they can't find any help. That's the problem. They don't.
Yeah.
I mean, who in the hell wants to go in and get paid $12, $13 an hour to work under hot grease and fry that stuff? I mean, it doesn't make a lot of sense. But it's just sad that those things are happening in our economy. It's not only them. There's a lot of stores that's closing, and what I hate to see is you drive through these. There's no supposedly shopping center malls left anymore. I mean, they're just empty. It's just crazy that they are in. But they got these new ones that are outside, and we got a couple by us. And you go drive through there, and there's even empty stores in there, and it's just
Yeah.
it's just sad to see that happens.
I'm
Then on
surprised
the other
Barnes
side
and
of
Noble.
sports, yeah,
I'm surprised
yeah,
Barnes and Noble is
seriously.
still open.
Well, Jill still shops there. That's the only reason they're open.
No, I forced her to go to the public library, save hundreds and hundreds of dollars. There's no reason to buy a book
Oh, without
anymore.
question.
So,
There is no reason to buy it. And online and stuff. I mean, there's no reason to buy a book. Why would you buy a book nowadays? But And finally, I want to talk about. I know you have a rigorous workout regimen, and this wasn't to talk about your workout regimen, but you might want to update us on what you're doing there. But I want to talk about weight loss, and Penny has lost 65 pounds, and she just looks amazing. And it's. I had a guy at lunch tell me yesterday, "You better watch out. She's looking pretty good." He said, He said, "I saw her yesterday. I didn't even know who she was." And I said, "Hell, I don't have anything to worry about. I've been pimping her out now. And she's losing weight." So, but
Make some
she's
money on the
looking
side.
amazing, and it's really good that she does that. And I mean, she's feeling a lot better health wise. But uh, are you still on the regimen that you've been working out on? I mean, the same thing that you've been doing.
Yep. I started in late August with a program called Ladder, and it's kind of neat. You put in what you're looking for into this app, and it recommends different coaches. And I picked this coach. I'm on Team Alpha, and this guy, we do 2 upper body, 2 lower body, and 2 kind of a all around cardio type of workout during the week. So he wants you to do 6 workouts a week, which I've been doing. And it's amazing. We only use dumbbells and occasionally a barbell, and then treadmills and rowing machines and such. So it's not a lot of, on machines work. It's a lot of body weight that you're using. And I can definitely see, I feel a lot better. I think I look a lot better. I've got some muscle that has finally arrived after 60 years. And so, yeah, I love it. And you're on a team, so you've got this chat room, and people are encouraging you, and they can cheer you on when you're working out, and you can do the same for people. So it's pretty cool. Yeah, I like it.
Is there anything in that regimen that would make your penis bigger?
No, I'm looking for that, but I haven't found it yet. So I need
Somebody
it.
said you could tie a barbell to the end of it and stretch it so it could get bigger. I don't know if that's
Put a weight.
Hey, are you riding in that bike race? Huh? Do what?
That's why I got a blister on my hand. I've been too much trying to stretch it out. So.
Hey, are you doing the bike ride this year or no?
No, I'm hopefully going to do it next year. This year I couldn't do it because chose not to do it because I'm going to AC/DC. They're in Madison right during Ragbri, and I didn't want to miss AC/DC, so I'm going to wait a year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Speaking of bikes, I got a new bike. It's in the box in the garage. We got to pull it out. Penny ordered it through Amazon. I was going to buy a bike, and we found one. Actually, I bought an electric bike this time, and so I'm excited tonight. We're going to put it together, and people say, "Why don't you put it together?" As anybody knows me and knows my wife, she does all that. I can't do anything mechanical, so she's got to put it together for me. So, but as warm as it is, I'm looking forward. I got an old Cruiser that I've been riding, black with pink rims on the wheels, but I've been riding that for several years. But I'm looking forward to this new bike and riding it. And I was up to 10, 12 miles a day last year, so which doesn't say it's not a lot when you're able to ride that. I mean, it's really not a 10 mile bike ride is not a long bike ride when you think about it. I mean, it'll be fun to do that, and I'm looking forward to doing that. But I wanted to bring it up because of Penny's weight loss, and I'm proud of her and what she's done. And Rachel's on the same. She's on a different shot, but I'm hoping and praying it'll help her because she needs to lose a lot of weight just for her health wise, and she wants to lose some weight before the wedding. So and we're getting closer and closer on that. A lot of things happening, and Penny's doing a lot of things. And I finally went and bought a suit. Real quick story. I don't think I told this last week, but so I had to get a suit for the wedding. I don't own a suit. I don't own a sport coat. So I went to Men's Warehouse to get a suit. A nice lady waiting on me, and she said, "You look like a 48 long." And I said, "There's no way I can wear a 48. I can tell you right now, my shoulders are too broad." And so I tried it on, and some bitch was so tight I couldn't even move. And so we finally found the size. And so I had a pair of pants to match, and she said they could tailor them whatever it needed to be. So anyway, long story short, I said, "Now how much is the suit?" And she said, "Well, we don't sell suits as a suit anymore. You got to buy the sport coat and the pants separate." And I said, "What?" She said, "Once in a while we'll run a special where you buy a suit," but she said the sport coat is $479 and the pants are $190. And I said, "What?" The pants are 190. I said, can you just give me the color of the sport coat and I'll go to Kohl's and buy me a pair of pants for $50? I mean, seriously, how can you?
Hmm.
Well, they probably won't match. So anyway, so then I said, well, I probably need to get a shirt. So she gave me a shirt. So I didn't even look at the shirt price. Checked out. The shirt was $75. So $479 for a sport coat, $190 for pants, and $75. I spent $700 for a suit
Yeah. Yeah.
that I probably wear the suit only one time, but at least I got and it's tan. I'll have a tan sport coat that I can wear because I don't own a sport coat. If somebody died and I had to go to a funeral or something, I wouldn't have a sport coat to wear. But weddings are not cheap. I'll tell you that. It's
No.
and nothing's cheap anymore. I mean, I could have probably went somewhere and found a cheaper suit, but Men's Warehouse has a good quality of product, so it's went there. But
You know,
yeah, it's getting closer. We're close to a month away now to the wedding, so things are ramping up, and
speaking
we're
of
getting ready
weddings,
for that.
Tom,
So
speaking of weddings, the Fry twins, I think, are picked to be in every wedding possible in the state of Wisconsin. Corey and Eric Fry. And I can't imagine, we've talked to Randy and Kathy about this. I cannot imagine in a year's time how much money they've shelled out. Even to rent a tuxedo now is $250, $300 just to rent it. And then the cost of a hotel and gift and all that stuff. And the poor twins,
all their
I
friends
think
are getting married.
or they have. And I think the twins have been in probably 30 weddings. So they've shelled out a shitload of money over the last few years.
Hey, real quick,
Yeah.
not to drag this thing on, but I just popped up to me when you said the Fry twins. One thing I don't even think we talked about this last week in local sports, and it's something we probably ought to bring up. The fact that Ryan Fry, Royal alumni, and graduated with my daughter Rachel. I mean, was named Coach of the Year in that conference that they play in. That was quite an honor that he got that award.
Yeah.
And regardless of who it is, I mean, you get an award like that, that's a pretty successful season.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, he took his team. They finished in first place and unfortunately got beat in the first round of the playoffs. But they went from, I don't know if they were in the cellar last year, but very low. Not a lot of wins. And this year they won conference. So yeah, congratulations.
Good for
to
him.
Ryan.
It's yeah, congratulations.
Yeah.
Very, very good. Got one more sponsor, well, a couple more sponsors, but this one is Erica's Place, located at 40 West Jackson Street in Cicero, Indiana, and 654 Logan Street in Noblesville. The Noblesville store restaurant is opened. There's some, you have to go around some road signs there to get to it, but they are still open. And although their businesses suffer a little bit, I want people to know that they still are open. They serve breakfast all day long. They have daily specials. They have a senior menu that people my age, actually 60 and over, can get a little discount on their meal. They're open 6 a.m. to 8 p.m. Monday through Saturday, and 6 a.m. to 2 p.m. on Sunday. So if you love great food, please visit Erica's Place in Cicero or Noblesville, and they also have carryouts available. A lot of their business is carryout, so give them a try. It's an excellent place to eat, excellent place to have meetings and gather and just shoot the shit. So check them out.
Sounds awesome. Update on the numbers?
Yeah, we got anything? I mean, we look at these and, what do
Yeah.
they mean? Hell, I don't know what they mean, but we probably ought to at least check and see what's going on.
Yeah, on Spotify we've had 1,152 plays. We're still holding at 68 followers. And we've got, the majority of our people obviously listen from the U.S., but a sprinkling in Germany, which I'm sure is Jacob, and again in Brazil. I don't know who in Brazil. Maybe somebody laying on the beach, some hot chick laying on the beach down in Brazil tuned us in.
It'd be nice.
And then on
if it is, have her
on
take a
YouTube.
picture and have her take a picture and send
Yeah.
it to us.
with all of her friends. And then on my channel where I
Yeah.
posted, we've had 543 views. And then on the Colonel and Mr. Bigg YouTube, we've had 57 views with 7 subscribers. So, I mean, it grows. We're getting not a lot of listeners, but I think, like we said, you never know. One of these days it could hit and take off. But we've got people that listen religiously, and we appreciate that. And we'll keep coming to you every week. So,
Well, I mean, I was shocked when Rachel told me that, Emma listens to us
Yeah.
religiously. I mean, I would never have thought that, but
yeah.
I think if you listen, just share it with your friends. I mean, they may not want to listen, but I'm sure all of you in your friends on your phone has 200, 300, 400, even 1,000 followers or friends. Just share it with them. That's all you got to do. Just hit the share button and pass along. And then the other thing is, give us your comments. So we kind of figure ourselves what we want to do, different stuff. But if you listen and you listen religiously, what would you like to hear? What would you like to hear us talk about? Again, it's just two old guys shooting the shit. Sitting here doing nothing, twiddling our thumbs basically, but talking about things we want to talk about. But we would like to do some different things on upcoming podcasts. And I talked to a guy Sunday at my brother's birthday party who is big time into electronics. He has a local television station here, and about how we could get some phone calls coming in. And he said that if I'd come in and sit down with him and talk, I mean, I don't know much about it, but I think we talked about it before. They're going to have to check into your length, and then you got to set them up. But maybe we ought to test that in the future. Just have one of our wives call in or something to see if we can do it. I mean, it'd be nice to at least, and it doesn't have to be recorded live. When we could do it and then just play it when we do it. But it'd be nice to have some feedback from our audience just to see how we're doing, and we're going to try to get this thing a little tighter, different segments, things like that. Not try to do every segment every week, but we'll do it just quickly. And again, we're 50 minutes now, and we're about done. So we've cut about 10 minutes off of it today. So we'll try to do that in the future. And Mike, I turned this last sponsor over to you. We probably should have done this in the beginning. I don't know why I was doing it, but you do this. You visit Anna on a regular basis, and I'm going to let you talk about Healthy Preludes as we go off the air here today.
Yes, Healthy Prelude, and I'll post a couple of pictures on her website. She's got new pictures of her building that's going up, and like I said a couple of podcasts ago, Jill and I had the opportunity to walk through there, and she's come a long way. So Anna Smart and Healthy Prelude, she's located just outside of Elroy, and you can go to www.healthyprelude.com. You can see all of her products. You can shop, and we buy lotions and sunscreens and a bunch of different magnesium products from her, and they are organic. They're homegrown. Anna's fire was just over a year ago on March 24th. It popped up on my memories, and her place was totally destroyed by fire, and she's in the rebuilding process. She's hoping to be in there in May, and coming soon, she's going to have, I wanted to read this real quick. She is going to have a salt wall, yoga, and infrared light therapy along with her massage. You can call Anna to see if she has openings. I know she's been cutting back a little bit on her massage therapy, but you can give her a call. If anything, she could at least recommend a place you could go, or maybe she could fit you in. I'm not quite sure, but give her a look. Go to her website, healthyprelude.com, www.healthyprelude.com, and www.thisshitsthebalm.com if you want to check out her product. And again, Healthy Prelude located just outside of Elroy, and Anna Smart, and she'll be up and running in her new place of business very, very soon.
Good for her. We miss her, man. We used to get them twice a month, and we did that for years, and I really think that helped me then, and I certainly wish I had somebody down. I mean, we got massage therapists down here. It's just not... It's not the same. Similar, but not the same. She just has a unique way of doing it, and I always like to talk. I talk during the massage. Penny said she never talks. She says I just like to relax.
We always do.
And I talk constantly. And the one I have now does not like it. She does not answer very much. So I keep quiet a little bit. But we certainly miss Anna and going there. And I'm thankfully she's got that thing back and running. And I'm sure it was devastating when it happened. So we're looking forward to that opening up soon.
I'll see her next week. Definitely one of my favorite days of the month, going up to see her and have her hands all over my body. I've actually taken my head out of the holder now and just lay it off to the side because we're always talking so much. So yeah, she's awesome. She's awesome. Yeah.
Now, do you go totally nude, or you leave your underwear on?
Totally nude, and I started that a number of years ago. I rode my bike from our farm over to Anna's. I always wore my underwear underneath the sheets.
Yeah.
And I rode my bike over one day and asked, I was going to use the sauna and shower and everything and then go in. Well, I forgot to take clothes to change into. So by the time I got over to Anna's, my clothes were just dripping wet with sweat. I went in, used her sauna, came out and showered, and I'm like, oh shit, I don't have any clean clothes to put on. So I went in, when it was my turn, got underneath the covers. And when she came in, I said, Anna, please don't think I'm a pervert, but I forgot a change of underwear and I'm not wearing anything. She She goes, 90% of my clients don't wear anything. When I get my massage, she said, I don't wear anything, so I haven't been wearing anything for years when she gets me my massage. Which is a lot better because,
I
when
always
you have
wanted
your
to
underwear
switch the
on.
roles. I always wanted to ask her. I would pay for it, but could I massage her?
Well, one thing about not wearing the underwear, and I'm not being perverted here, is she can get to the sides and sciatic nerve and lower areas in your back better. If you're wearing underwear, she can't get to
Yeah.
those areas unless she goes over
Yeah.
your clothes. So, no,
The
she said
one I
just
have
about
now will
everybody
put
is
the
new.
blanket yeah, the one I have now put the blanket up there, and she don't go real far up. She's you have to sign an agreement that nothing sexually will be done or anything. And I don't. I mean, I'm not looking for anything sexually to be done, but you're right. It's nice to get to that sciatic nerve and all the way up there on the butt and stuff like that. But
Yep.
yeah, check her out, healthypreludes.com. Go on their website. They got a lot of stuff on their website. But
Great stuff.
hey, Mike, thanks for
Great
getting up early to do this. I got a doctor's appointment today that I've got to get to, and I appreciate you doing that. And again, this is our 20th podcast. We've entered our third decade, which seems almost impossible when we started, but
Yeah.
it's fun doing this. I appreciate doing this, and we'll look forward to doing it. Probably not Sunday since it's Easter, but we got the family coming over. But maybe we can do it next Monday or whatever.
Next
We'll
week
see what the
sometime.
schedule looks like, and we'll do
Sounds
it. And
good.
check us out on Spotify and YouTube. And Mike, have a great day, a great rest of your week, and a happy Easter to you and Jill.
You too. Good luck with your appointment today, and tell Penny hello and Rachel and everyone else, and good luck and happy Easter. And we'll talk next week.